Hey everybody, before the video starts, I just want to apologize because the audio in this one is pretty bad. The garage door to the garage where we play all the games is still broken, so it had to stay open during the game, and you get to hear all the noises of the neighborhood. I'm going to try to edit it all out, but there is going to be some whistles and pop, and you're going to hear that lawnmower in the background in a few spots. So again, I'm sorry, but it is what it is, and here is the video. This is the warbossfitz channel, and it is that time of week again. We're going to go over another OPR faction. This time we are going to Grimdark Future, and we are talking about the High Elf Fleets. So as I am completing this video, OPR is completing their High Elf Fleets range of STL files. So we're going to use those when we talk about the units. And I have a link down in the description for the one-page rules High Elf Fleets on the My Mini Factory store. So let's start here and look at some special rules and some spells. We're just going to go over the highlights. We'll start with Seer Council, because this army does have a unit that everybody in the unit is a caster, and this is how that's going to work. This model counts as having caster 1. All models with this rule in a unit share spell tokens, but lose all unspent tokens at the end of the round, and only one of them may cast spells each round. So that means if you have a squad of 3, it is a caster 3. You get those 3 tokens to throw around, but you can't save them like you can with a hero caster. Same thing if you double the unit and you have 6 in the unit, you get 6 casting tokens. So that means that you're going to be able to throw around as many spells as you want, but you won't be able to hold them over until the next turn. And then as you lose people, say you had a squad of 6, you lose 2, now you have caster 4, so you get 4 tokens, and so on and so forth. All the other special rules are kind of standard. So let's go down here to the spells. Again, we don't look at the offensive, we look at the buffs. So we have Creator at number 2 for 2 friendly units within 12, get +1 to defense rolls. Pretty good. And then Blessing, 2 friendly units with 18, get +2 to hit rolls next time they charge. That is huge. That could turn a mediocre melee attempt into something that is a true sledgehammer. So let's go ahead and start into the units. We're going to start with Elven Noble, 60 points, quality 3, defensive 4, 2 attacks with a close combat weapon, 2 shots with a Master Shard pistol at 12 inches with rending, fast, hero, and toughness 3. So we're going to go over the stuff as we run into them, and here we've run into fast. Moves +2 inches when using advance and +4 when using rush and charge. These are elves, they're fast, they go a little bit faster on the board. Hero means it can be attached to other units, and you're going to see why right now. Upgrades. Ancient Commander for hit and run, which means this unit may shoot and then move up to 3 inches. Shield of Grace. This model's unit get regeneration, and regeneration means after you fail a defense roll, you get a 5+ to ignore the wound. And then we have a caster 2 or a caster 3 ability you can stack on there. You can replace the Master Shard pistol with an energy sword for 2 attacks, AP1 with rending, and a combat shield with shield wall, where you get +1 to defense rolls against hits that are not from spells. And then we get into the weapon options. You can change out the Master Shard pistol with a Master Laser Blaster for 3 shots at 18, a Great Flamer Axe, 1 attack, AP1, Blast 3, and Reliable, a Great Fusion Axe, 1 attack, AP4, Deadly 3, and 12 inches, Master Shard Carbine, 3 shots, Rending at 18, a Master Web Spinner, 3 shots, AP4, 12, Surge Rocket, 24, 3, 1, Lock On, 31, 3, Deadly, blah, blah. Woo! Yeah, it's got options. And down here with the close combat weapons, we got Blast, Rending, AP4, Deadly 3, Reliable, Poison. If you've been watching these videos, you know what all this stuff does. These are so you could sync this character into one of the different squads and just get synergy with whatever you sync it into. So you could do something crazy and put like a Surge Rocket on a squad of melee, but why would you? It's kind of a waste. So choose what you think you're going to synergize with the squad that you're in. You can upgrade with a Shield Protector, which gives Energy Field, which gives this model and its whole unit Stealth. Stealth means if the enemy is outside of 9 inches away and starts shooting at you, it's -1 for them to hit. And then down here too, more stuff to synergize. Glider wings for ambush and flying, Stinger suit for scout and stealth, Revenant suit for fear 2, and Strider, ooh, it makes him scary. Shifter suit for ambush and teleport, and jet bikes gives him some more mounted guns. Strider, extra toughness and speed boost, which gives them +2, +4, so more fast. Now we're going to start building some squads when we get there, just to give you guys an idea of what you can pull off. Next unit is the Elite Protector, 45 points, quality 4, defensive 5. Comes with a close combat weapon, master shard pistol, and fast, hero, and toughness 3. We have the same upgrades, hit and run, shield of grace, caster 2, caster 3. Same energy sword and combat shield. Then you have the same shooting and melee options to sync into a squad. Same energy field, and this one you can be mounted on just a jet bike. Next unit. Now we're into the actual units. Here is our Acolytes. This is the Seer Council squad. This is the ones that gives you caster tokens for everyone that's in the squad. 3 of them, 145 points, quality 4, defensive 4, comes with energy swords and shard pistols. You can replace those energy swords with energy spears to give them 2 attacks at AP 4, and you can upgrade them all with jet bikes. So this is going to be a mostly buffing squad, because it's going to run up there and it's going to throw out spells. Or if you really want, you can make this into a close combat squad. You can go all energy spears. Blah. Double it. So 320 points, 6 models, 12 attacks at AP4, hitting on a 4, and then they can buff themselves with Blessing to give themselves +2 to hit. They have caster 6 in this configuration, so they could do that on a 2+. If you wanted to do it really fast for another 260 points, so 580, you could do it at the speed of sound. At that point, their charge is going to be 20 inches. So if you want, you can attach a Noble to the Acolytes, give him caster 3. So the Acolytes and the Noble, they're 2 separate pools when it comes to spell tokens. So you have 1 6, 1 3, so you can throw out more spells if you want, if that's something you feel that you want to do. Next unit we're going to look at are the Strikers. These are going to be our close combat basic troops. 115 points for 5, quality 4, defensive 5, fast, and scout. So scout means they can be deployed and then they can move 12 inches before the game starts. You can replace one of the pistols with a flamer or a fusion rifle. Flamer in case you want to take on some hordes, or fusion rifle if you feel like you're going to need to kill some heavier infantry or start plinking wounds off of tanks. You can give 1 an energy sword, and you can upgrade all the models with a hologram platform, which gives them stealth. Now at 115, this is going to be what is considered your chaff unit. This is going to be your cheap unit. Keep it small, keep it tiny. It's fast, it can scout. It's going to be hiding in the shadows to jump out and take things from the enemy. You could put on, for another 15 points, you could put on a fusion rifle just to have, hidden pocket fusion rifles laying around in case you're fighting against Battle Brothers or DAO Union that have like larger multi-wounded things, or in case you want to hide little anti-tank pockets around the board. Next unit is Protectors. It's going to be pretty much the same thing, focusing on guns instead of close combat weapons. 115, 1 attack in close combat, 2 shots with rending at 12 inches. And then here you can upgrade a shard gun with a gun platform. We got 3 shots AP1, 3 shots rending AP1, 3 shots deadly 3, 1 shot AP2 deadly 3 lock-on, or shatter cannon 36, 3 shots AP2. So again, the same thought here is going to be keep this small, keep it hidden, pop out, ambush stuff that you're going to try to finish off if it's already been damaged, or to contest and hold objectives. With these gun platforms, it's going to be the same thing as the other squad, except, with just pocket anti-tank. Here you can have pocket burst laser, pocket shatter cannon. Just something to add to the lethality, or just options that the squads can use. Now, if you really want to use units to fight the things, let's look at some specialty squads. And oh boy, do we got specialties. First up is Stingers. 195 points for 5, quality 3, defensive 4. Fast, scout, and stealth. They each have stinger blades for 2 attacks each with reliable and poison, so they're going to be hitting close combat on a 2. It doesn't get any more specialized than that. And they're all carrying shard pistols for 1 shot at 12 inches with rending. You can replace one of the shard pistols and stinger blades for a sergeant shard pistol and sergeant stinger blades. If you can't tell, that's a sergeant upgrade. And they also have the option for dual energy swords for 4 attacks, AP1 with rending. You can replace the sergeant's pistol with a scorpion fist for 3 shots at 12 inches with rending. And you can replace the sergeant's stinger blade with a stinger dagger. One attack, poison, blast 3, and reliable. Somehow the dagger has blast 3. I don't know, don't question it. Elves are really tricksy things. So with fast, scout, and stealth, you can keep this small. Definitely keep it hidden. Jump on stuff as it comes forward. Or you can start, or if you think you're going to get the first turn, you could take a big squad, move it forward with scout, and then you're going to be able to reach the enemy's deployment zone with your first charge. In case somebody puts something squishy on the line, you can just go, that's mine, and have game impact from the opening action of turn number 1. Next unit is Gliders. 180 points, quality 3, defense 4. Ambush, fast, and flying. These are the elves with the wings. I don't know if they are going to be out in this month or next month. You're either going to see the STL model or the concept art. 1 attack apiece in close combat and 2 shots at 18 with laser blasters. There's nothing special, it's just 2 shots at 18 at quality 3, which isn't terrible, depending on what you're fighting. You can replace 1 laser blaster with a laser pistol and energy sword, shred blaster pistol or energy sword. You can replace another laser blaster with a heavy laser rifle for 2 shots at AP2 or a shred blaster for 4 shots with rending. And you could upgrade the whole squad with grenade packs, which give them drop grenades. Whenever this model moves over enemy units, pick one of them and roll 1 die. On an A6, it takes 1 hit. So in the base configuration here, this squad is operating on the 10,000 cuts theory. The weapons are not very powerful, but you're going to have a lot of shots. So like 5 of them here puts out 10 shots. Ooh, you could do 2 shred blasters, but at 45 points apiece, that gets pretty pricey. And then grenade packs to give them drop grenades. But, like usual, what I think these squads are going to be best at, uncombine them, basic, tiny ambush, objective stealing units. Drop them down behind a wall, like in the rear of your enemy's deployment zone. Don't even really engage with them. Just like drop them behind something the enemy can't see, and then they have to dedicate something to go back there and dig those gliders out. Just being there, they might take 1 or 2 units out of the game because they're not moving towards objectives, they're moving to engage the gliders. The next unit is Revenants, 5 of them for 185 points, quality 3, defensive 4. All of our specialist troops are going to have quality 3. They're just better than usual at their jobs. Fast and Strider, we got 2 attacks with energy swords, AP1 and rending, and 1 attack with shard pistols, 12 inches with rending. We have the option for a sergeant shard pistol and energy sword, a mirror scythe, 4 attacks with rending, or a chakram. This one. 3 attacks, 12 inches, AP1, and reliable with a sword with 2 attacks. You can replace the Sergeant Energy Sword with a Killing Axe, AP2 Deadly 3, and you can give 1 model a Banshee Howl, which gives Fear 2, which counts as dealing 2 extra wounds in melee. So this is one of what I think is the better of the combat squads in the army, just because 2 attacks apiece with AP1, it's okay, but rending kind of puts it over the top, because if the enemy operates on a whole lot of regeneration, rending shuts it off. 2 attacks apiece, so more opportunities to roll a 6, and rending, that 6 turns into an AP4. They have Fast and Strider, so they can move through difficult terrain. Yeah, let's build a squad here. Let's actually do something with this. 370 points for a combined squad. Let's put an Elite Protector in there, join it to the squad. What can we put on? We could do Shield of Grace to give everything here regeneration. We could do a Banshee Howl to give this unit Fear of 2. So that works out to a pretty decent squad. Even though we got defense 4 here, we got regeneration. This squad is meant to counter regeneration with everything having rending. If you just want straight up more attacks, which we kind of do, let's go ahead and do Mirror Scythes here. Go to the Elite Protector, give him some weapons. So we got 8 energy swords, which is going to be 16 attacks hitting on a 3. We got 1 energy sword up here, 2 attacks hitting on a 4. Then we have 2 Mirror Scythes, 8 attacks, rending, hitting out of 3. It's a pretty decent squad, but here we are, 480 points. It's a pretty big chunk. Defense isn't great with defense of 4, but regeneration, so it's pretty okay. Just be conscious on what you're going to be throwing it into. Next unit is Retributors. This is our specialty shooting squads. 185 points for 5 of them, 1 attack in close combat, and 2 shots at 18 with rending with shard carbines. You can replace all of the shard carbines with energy swords and a combat shield if you want this unit to be tankier. But even if you do that, your defense 3, your close combat isn't great. This is going to be more of a defensive squad to hold things. You replace 1 shard carbine with a twin shard carbine for 20 points. It just doubles the output of that 1 gun. And you can replace a shard carbine with a pistol and a dire sword, or a pistol and an energy sword. Then you can replace a pistol with a flicker shield for Shield of Grace, which gives the whole squad regeneration. So let's see if this works. Just to make it defensive here, you can go pistol and sword, flicker shield, and then energy sword. So here we go. This is something. We got a dire sword, 4 energy swords. We got Shield of Grace for regeneration, and shield wall for +1 to defense against things that are not spells. So you can make it pretty defensive heavy for pretty cheap for 115 points, which is the same cost of like one of your protector squads at 115 points. So I guess if you want to have a small squad that's lingering around your own home objective, that would be a good choice for them. But let's focus on the actual shooting of the squad. Best thing to do is just twin shard carbine. 205 points, 12 rending shots at 18 inches. Combine it, 24 rending shots at 18 inches. The big strategy with these guys is just roll 6s. And the only thing worth putting a character on them with is hit and run, where you get to move 3 inches after you shoot. If you're working in very dense, like urban terrain on your table, move these around a corner, pop out, and then jump back behind a wall. Next unit is Shifters, 225 points, quality 3 defensive 4, ambush and teleport. Teleport means before they attack, they get an extra 6 inches of movement, where they can just ignore everything. They just blink out of existence and move 6 inches. 1 attack apiece in close combat, and then web spinners, 2 shots, AP4 at 12 inches. This is a shooting sledgehammer. You can replace one of the spinners with a spinner carbine for 2 shots at 18 inches at AP4, or a heavy web spinner for 4 shots at 12 inches at AP4. And you can replace 1 close combat weapon with a dual shifter pick for 2 attacks with poison. Ignore this. You don't want this squad in close combat. Best bet here, put on that heavy web spinner, 12 shots at 12 inches. AP4, that's ridiculous. You can combine the unit for 24 shots at AP4. That's pretty much going to kill whatever you pointed at. That's not a super heavy vehicle, and even in that case, it's going to do a lot of damage to it. Teleport makes them very fast, so they can go 6, teleport 6, and then shoot, giving them a 24-inch threat range with their 12-inch guns. Ambush, you can wait until turn 2, drop them wherever you can, and just hose the enemy with shots. You keep it small and use them to just beat up a unit until it has to take a morale test. I think that'd be the best way to do it. Instead of combining them, just, take 2. Spread out the AP4 love. You can combine them, put the character attached to it, Shield of Grace, which gives them all regeneration. At this point, if you have a whole squad of 10, you might as well just spend the extra 90 points for the added toughness insurance of regeneration. And then for the character, you got to put on a shifter suit, and then do a master web spinner there as well. So it's another 3 shots at AP4. Now that everybody can ambush and now everyone can ambush and teleport. 635. It's expensive, but like I said, it's going to melt whatever you point this at. Or you could be like me and your dice just say no. I haven't played it yet, but I'm anticipating that's going to happen. Next unit is Scorchers. There's only 3 of them in this squad for 130, quality 3, defensive 4. We got 1 attack with close combat weapons, and heavy flamers, 1 shot, AP1, blast 3, reliable at 12. You can replace all the heavy flamers with fusion rifles and go tank hunting, 1 shot, AP4, deadly 3. You can replace one of the heavy flamers with a fusion pike, 1 shot, AP4, deadly 3 at 18. Now, I'm in two schools of thought on this. Again, this is just warbossfitz's ideas. If you're going to keep them small, just a squad of 3, use the fusion rifle, because that's going to give you the most impact with the squad. You know, they have the ability to pop a toughness 9 unit. I would reliably shoot these at like an APC or something with toughness 6 to kill it. And then if you want a full squad, I'd say keep the flamers on there. This is going to be used to hose enemy chaff units before your other specialty squads get where they need to be. The only thing you're going to be able to give these guys the character is either hit and run or regeneration, and I don't think this squad needs either of those. But again, that's up to you. Next unit is snipers. 3 of them for 160, quality 4, defensive 5, fast, scout, stealth, and strider. 1 attack and combat, and then sniper rifles for 1 shot at AP1 with sniper. Best use for these is to put them somewhere up high, something kind of out of the way, and then use them to reach out and take out some of the specialists in the enemy squads, like a heavy weapon person or sergeant, or if you take a squad of 6, at that point you might be able to start taking out some characters. The sniper rule means they get to pick out whoever they want to shoot. That's about all I got to say on that. You guys know how snipers work. Next unit is Vanquishers, 230 points for 3 of them. So these are expensive, fast and relentless. 1 attack in combat, surge rockets for 3 shots at 24 AP1, and lock on. Lock on means they always ignore modifiers to hit. You could replace those surge rockets with impact rockets, which are AP3 deadly 3s. So this is going to be your anti-heavy infantry, anti-vehicle shots. You can replace one of those surge rockets with a arcing rocket for blast 3 and indirect, or a shard cannon for 3 shots rending an AP1. This is one of those units that I don't think really translated over that well. Surge rockets, it's 3 shots apiece at AP1 with lock on. I mean, it's okay. And then impact rockets, those are pretty good anti-vehicle weapons. This is just one of those squads where I think they're okay at the job you want them to do, but there's going to be other things that do it better. Starting the fun stuff. Elemental Protectors, 3 of them for 205 points, quality 3, defense 3, fearless, relentless, and toughness 3. 1 attack in combat, and then they have distortion guns for 1 shot AP2 blast 3 at 12 inches. And you can replace all the distortion guns with a wraith cannon for 3 shots AP4 at 12. The distortion guns are going to be anti-heavier infantry, and then wraith cannons are going to be for anti pretty much everything. 245 versus the shifters 225. 10 shots, 9 shots, faster, tougher. The choice is yours. Elemental Strikers, 230 points for 3 of them, quality 3, defense 3, fearless, furious, toughness 3, 4 attacks apiece at AP1 with rending. You can switch it out for shields with a killing axe, 1 attack, AP2 deadly 3, an energy sword, 3 attacks, AP1 with rending, or an energy spear, 3 attacks, AP4. This is a tougher close combat sledgehammer unit. You could just rely on the defense 3 and toughness 3 with the energy swords to go through and kill out all of the chaff units. 4 attacks, AP1 rending, or you could go for killing axes for anti-vehicles and anti-elite infantry. Energy sword with the shield wall gives you defense 2, 1 less attack, but at that point you become defense 2. Or you could do, again, defense 2, 3 attacks at AP4. I say if you're going to do it, go big. Let's do AP4, 3 attacks apiece, and then you can put some characters on here. Let's put on an Elite Protector, join them to the unit, Shield of Grace. Now they have defense 2 with that shield wall and regeneration. They're not fast, they are standard speed, but this would be a unit that I would think you put into an APC, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Now everybody's favorites, jet bikes. Jet bike protectors, 3 of them, 240 points, quality 3, defensive 4, strider, toughness 3, and very fast. So they're going to be going 10 inches for advance, and then 20 inches for rush and charge. These are the shooty versions of the jet bikes. You come with, each one of the bikes has 2 shots at 12, 1 shot at 12, all of its rending, and they all have 2 attacks apiece in close combat. You can upgrade all the units to have snipers, where you put a guy on the back with a sniper rifle, 1 shot AP1 with sniper, and if you put on a sniper, you can replace the mounted shard guns in the sniper rifle with a burst laser for 3 shots at AP1, or shard cannons for 3 shots, rending AP 1 to 24, and you could upgrade the whole squad with stealth. I don't really have a preference on this one. Nothing crazy that I would do. Well, yeah, I do. If it was me, I'd keep it cheap. Keep it cheap. Well, 240 points is not very cheap anyways, and then I would run multiples of this squad, zipping around and keeping the enemy guessing on where you're going to engage them next. Then, my personal favorite, the jet bike strikers. The only reason I'm not bringing these in the game today is because the models weren't released yet. 265 points for 3, quality 3, defense 4, scout, strider, toughness 3, and very fast. Not only are they very fast, but they get to move 12 inches before turn 1. Again, we got shard guns and pistols, 2 attack speeds in close combat. Then you can replace the shard pistols and close combat weapons with energy lances, 2 attacks, AP 1 with a lance. Gives them plus 2 AP when charging. Then you can replace 1 lance for an energy sword, energy spear, or a killing axe. You can upgrade the models with Shield of Grace, which gives them regeneration, and a hologram field, which gives them stealth. So let's go full orc mode here. Energy lances on everybody, 1 energy spear, and then Shield of Grace to give them regeneration, because why not? You're at 300 points. With Scout, Strider, and very fast, you're going to be able to touch the enemy in places they didn't think they were going to get touched. Pretty expensive unit at 300 points for only 3 models, but this is a scalpel. This is going to be able to charge through the enemy, and some things just need killing. Some things just need killing on turn 1. These should pull that off. Now on to the vehicles. We start with the Anti-Gravity APC, 195 points, quality 3, defensive 2, impact 3, strider, toughness 6, transport 11, and very fast. And the way transports work, transport does its activation, moves where it wants to move, and then your squad inside, next activation, they can get out, do what they need to do, but they have to do everything within 6 inches of the transport. So being very fast, transport's going to zip up the board 20 inches, and then you're going to be able to get out an additional 6, 26-inch threat range just on the stuff inside, be it combat or shooting. They can put stuff where the enemy doesn't want it. Seems to be a theme with the elves. Comes equipped with mounted shard guns for 2 shots at 12 inches with rending. You can upgrade it with 2 burst lasers, 3 shots at AP1. You can replace those burst lasers with shard cannons, missile launchers, laser cannons, or shatter cannons. Let's just do this so we can access those. If you want more rending, you can do shard cannons, missile launchers, AP2 deadly 3, laser cannons, AP3 deadly 3, and shatter cannons, 3 shots at AP2. You can upgrade it with a hologram field for stealth, and then you could replace the mounted shard guns with a light shard cannon for 2 shots at 24, AP1 at rending. So, first and foremost, this is a transport. It's only toughness 6. But you could turn it into a kind of a IFV. If you want to go anti-tank on it, I'd say laser cannon or missile launcher. If you want to go anti-infantry, either keep the burst lasers or go shatter cannons for just more AP on those shots. But if you just want to use it as a transport, just keep it cheap. It's only toughness 6. If it's moving things into combat on turn 1 or turn 2, it's probably gonna die. Let's face it, the enemy's gonna have stuff in their arsenal to take out something that's toughness 6. So I wouldn't dedicate too many points to it. Let's look at the actual tank. 545 points to start with. Quality 3, defensive 2, impact 6, strider, toughness 12, and very fast. We got mounted shard guns, 2 shots 12 inches, and 2 rapid shard cannons. 6 shots, you have 2 of them, so it's going to be 12 shots at 24 AP1 rending. Now options are you can replace both of those shard cannons with a prism cannon for 2 shots AP4 deadly 6 for anti-vehicle love, or a spinner cannon for 4 shots blast 3 AP4 and indirect. This is not nice. You could put it on the board where the enemy can't even see you to shoot back and just lob AP4 blasts across the board. Oof. So you can take your tiny cannons, you can replace them with burst lasers, missile launchers, laser cannons, or a shatter cannon. Oof. The firepower this thing can put out is kind of ridiculous. You could do a hologram field for stealth and a light shard cannon down here to replace the shard guns. So if you just want to be mean, I would say put on that spinner cannon. 4 shots, blast 3, hitting on a 3. That's gonna start deleting whole squads. That's the elf thing to do. Just to shoot at them, they can't shoot back. Ha ha ha. Deal with it. If you want to do anti-tank, prism cannon, 2 shots at AP4, deadly 6. At quality 3, there's a good chance both of those hit. That just deletes enemy tanks. And then I wouldn't even worry about these. I would say focus your tank in one of those 3 directions. Do the shard cannons for anti-infantry work, prism cannon for anti-tank work, or spinner cannon for anti-everything. Heavy jet bike, 215 points. Impact 3, Strider, Toughness 6, and very fast. Mounted shard gun, you got 2 shots at 12. Shard cannon, 3 shots at 24. You can replace the mounted shard gun for a light shard cannon. You have a stealth option. Then you can replace the shard cannon with a burst laser, missile launcher, laser cannon, or shatter cannon. We've got anti-tank, anti-infantry options on here. I'm not going to go over them all because these are we've seen all these weapons before. Combat Walker, 235. Defense 2, quality 3, fast, scout, and toughness 6. 2 attacks, AP1 with stomp. And then we have a rapid burst laser for 6 shots, AP1 at 30. You can replace the burst laser with a shard cannon, missile launcher, laser cannon, shatter cannon, and a hologram field. Again, I've already gone over all these weapons already. It's only toughness 6, so it doesn't quite have the staying power as the other combat walkers and the different armies that we've seen. But again, the best defense is a good offense. Give them some weapons. Then we have the Great Elemental, 375 points. Fear 2, Fearless, and Toughness 12. We got 2 shard guns, a stomp, and 2 elemental swords. This guy's decked out for close combat and shooting. So let's check out our options here. You can replace the elemental swords with a great axe and a shield, 2 great axes, great elemental sword and a shield, a great spear and a great shield, or 2 great elemental swords. You can replace the shard gun with a flamer. You can upgrade it to just have an additional burst laser, shard cannon, missile launcher, laser cannon, or shatter cannon, and you can also upgrade it with caster 2. So my first thoughts on this is to make it a close combat monster. And for that I see 2 options. Either the great axes, 2 great axes for 2 attacks at AP2 and deadly 6, or a great spear for 6 attacks at AP4 with a shield for protected. And then there's also, the 2 great elemental swords, giving it 12 attacks at AP1 with rending. But I would focus this on either deadly 6 or the AP4. Strapping guns on it, I think, is kind of a waste because just one of the things in OPR, you can either shoot or you can get into combat on your turn. Potentially you could do both. If you shoot at somebody on your activation, then they charge into you. But let's say you're carrying 2 great elemental swords. Who's going to charge into that? It's just... No, I would not charge into something that had that. I would try to shoot it to death. Next unit is the Artillery. 290 points to start off with. Quality 3, defensive 2. Entrenched, slow, and toughness 6. Entrenched means it's -2 to shoot this model if it's over 9 inches away, as long as it didn't move. 3 attacks with the crew, and we start off with a burst mortar, 4 shots, blast 3, and indirect. You could give this unit stealth, which means that coupled with entrenched, it's going to be -3 to hit from 9 inches away if you didn't move. Then our weapon options are an AA cannon, 9 shots at AP1 with lock-on, or a heavy mortar, 2 shots, AP2, deadly 6, and indirect. Heavy mortar is going to be what you normally see because people try to hide their artillery. It's going to be behind buildings or just behind a gun line somewhere, lobbing shots over. Deadly 6 is kind of ridiculous. That makes it very much an anti-vehicle mortar. With our burst mortar up here that we start with, 4 shots and blast 3, that's up to 12 hits if the enemy squad is large enough. Anti-infantry. And then AA cannon, I would think if you were running on a board to have like 1 or 2 long sight lines at 36-inch range, I would set this thing all the way back on your board edge and just blast down that sight line. But this heavy mortar kind of falls into the same category as that spinner cannon that we saw on the tank. This is just mean. 350 points at that point, but I mean, yeah, that's just gonna obliterate enemy tanks. Now to the big stuff. Titan Elemental, 830 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fear 4, fearless, and toughness 24. Starts out decked for close combat. We have 8 attacks, AP2 with a stomp, and 24 attacks with rending from its dual Titan claws. You can replace those claws with axes and a shield or twin heavy wraith cannons. 2 shots apiece, AP 4, and Deadly 9. That's a big number. I don't think I've seen Deadly 9 ever. Wow, okay. Now let's say you take the axe, you could switch it out with a Titan Sword for 20 attacks at AP 1 with Rending, 16 attacks at AP 4 with a Spear, or a Sun Cannon, 3 shots, Blast 6, and AP 2. And you could upgrade it with up to 2 Burst Lasers, Shard Cannons, or Shatter Cannons. Oof, this thing's ridiculous. Okay, let's say you take the Titan Axe. 6 attacks, Deadly 3, that's possible 18 damage right there. Or you could take the Titan Spear, 16 attacks at AP 4. The axe for killing vehicles or elite infantry like destroyers. And the Titan Spear, that's just good against everything. I wouldn't worry about putting any kind of guns on it down here. Don't worry about this section. If you know the enemy is going to be bringing a whole bunch of vehicles, you could either stick with the Titan Axe for close combat, or the twin heavy Wraith Cannons to just shoot stuff to death. Deadly 9 is kind of a weird point. It's good against other Titans or other things that have like 18 toughness, but against like normal tanks that have 12 toughness, 1 shot won't kill it, 2 shots will overkill it. So it's kind of a weird gray area. But if you're doing like a Titan roundup or a Titan joust type of game, the twin heavy Wraith Cannon, that'd be pretty cool to use. The next unit is the Elemental Avatar, quality 2, defensive 2, 900 points. Fear of 3, regeneration, and toughness 18. It comes with a flame sword with 12 attacks, AP 2 and rending, a gaze of doom, 3 shots, AP 4, deadly 3 at 12 inches, and 6 attacks, AP 2 with a stomp. This is a close combat monster. It has no upgrades because it doesn't need it. There's not much to say about this. 900 points to start off with. It's a little bit big for the games that I usually play, but a higher point value, seeing one of these things stomp across the board, would be amazing. Then finally, we are at the Air Force. We have a Seer plane, 340 points, quality 3, defensive 2, aircraft, caster 2, and toughness 6. Aircraft rules, they're a little bit wonky. They are going to change soon. I've seen a preview of the next update, so don't worry about what it says now. Comes with twin distortion guns, 4 shots, AP 3, blast of 3 at 18-inch range, and it being a caster 2, it has options to throw out some spells. I'm not too crazy on aircraft in general, but 4 shots, blast 3 at AP 3, that's going to be anti-squad. Anti-whatever you point this at. If it's more than one model, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. And the option to throw out some spells, nothing is really great as far as buffs go. You could put it over your battle line to give your people +2 to hit next time they charge, +1 to defense rolls next time they take a hit. That potentially, but mostly going to be using the spells for their offensive power, because I feel like the planes are gonna be in weird spots compared to the rest of your army. I could see that as kind of like dropping bomblets. Then the big plane, the Venator plane, 485 points, quality 3, defense 2, aircraft, and toughness 6. A rapid pulse laser for 6 shots at AP 3 with lock-on at 36, and a twin laser cannon, 2 shots, AP 3, and deadly 3. You can replace those laser cannons with twin shatter cannons. Just a good all-round plane here. Pretty expensive at 485, but meh. If you like planes, you like planes. So that is it for the army list of the High Elf Fleets. We're going to go ahead and head out into the garage, and we're going to have ourselves a game, and I will explain the army list that I am bringing for this week. See everybody out there. Welcome out to the garage, everybody. This is the High Elf Fleet army that we are going to be taking out today. Let's start at the top of the list. We have an Elite Protector, who is a caster 3 with a unit of 6 acolytes. They have the Seer Council rule, and they all have the energy spears where they have 2 attacks, AP 4. Then we have an Elven Noble right here, attached to a squad of 10 Stingers. He has the Shield of Grace, so everybody in that squad has regeneration, plus all the equipment that makes him fit into a Stinger unit. Then we have 2 squads of 5 Retributors and 2 squads of 5 Shifters. And then in the back, we have an APC. Let's check out who their opposition is for this week. This week's Op 4 is the DAO Union. We've got 2 grunt leaders that have the volley fire rule, leading 2 squads of grunts
all armed with pulse carbines with spotting lasers. We have 3 stealth suits with diffusion carbines, 3 battle suits with flamers, and 2 squads of 3 battle suits with plasma. This is our battlefield for today. We've got some trees, we got some buildings, we got some brand new craters that I made up. We've got 5 objectives on the field. The mission is going to be the standard mission. Whoever ends up with the most objectives at the end wins. Rolling for deployment. We got a 2, which means we're going to set up in Long Haul. And this week we have Uncle C, who has volunteered to play as the elves. So for deployment, he has split up the squad of stingers. We've got the stingers, the noble over there, shifters, stingers, acolytes, and then here in the APC, we've got both squads of 5 retributors. And then for the DAO Union, we got plasma suits, unit of grunts, plasma suits, unit of grunts, and then we have the flamer plasma suits and the stealth suits in ambush. All right, let's see who goes first. The DAO Union, it's going to be a 1. And the elves are going to be a 3, so elves are going to go first. So before turn 1 starts, we remember that the stingers have scouts, so they have both moved up to the edge of that building. Unit of shifters in the center is going to move forward as they run forward, skirting around all of our difficult terrain. Our unit of grunts in the building is going to move up a floor. They end up on the top floor, looking down into both those shifters and the stingers. They're going to fire down into the shifters. Before we start shooting, they do have 2 spotting lasers in that squad. We're going to put those on the stingers on a 4 up. Hey, 2 spotting lasers. Carbine shots at the shifters. The grunt leader hits on a 4. We got 3 hits. And the rest of the squad on a 5. AP -1. Ends up 7 wounds end up going through. That's going to be the end of that shifter squad. And boof. APC gonna move to right there, putting him right up against the wall. Plasma suits over on this objective. They're going to go ahead and fly over the bocage there, putting themselves out there, and then they are going to roll their 1 spotting laser against those stingers that are right in front of them. And it misses. That squad of stingers, they're going to charge into those battle suits. Like that. Bunch of reliables on a 2. As we missed the box twice. There we go. Saving on the 3 with poison. So with poison, I got to roll 1, 2 again. So 1, 2, 3 go through. I lose a suit. We're going to go ahead and take that one. Boom. Suits fighting back. 1 hit.
Shield of Grace. Yeah.
Okay, yep. So, regeneration. Nope. Takes out 1 stinger. So, the battle suits lose combat. Morale test on a 4. They're going to fail. So, they are pinned. So, when stinger goes pop, these guys are pinned. Well, these will be our pinned markers this game. And then the stingers just back up an inch. And fall on their face in a crater. There we go. Second squad of plasma suits are going to move up to right there. And then they're going to shoot into the APC. First thing they're going to do is use the spotting laser on a 4 up. They do. That means they're going to be hitting on a +1, so that means they're going to be hitting on a 3. Hitting on a 3. 3 flower. 5 hits. Save it on a 6. It takes 4. Morale test. It's going to be pinned, but the squads inside are still going to be able to get out. The tank is pinned, and it's down to 2 wounds remaining. So, on the elves' turn, we're going to put out one of the squad's retributors. They're going to fire at those battle suits. Overall, 12 shots on a 3. Ooh, with rending. We got a couple rendings in there. So if the rending hits on a 6, we saved 1, and the rest on a 3. Ooh, we fail 4 more. That's going to be 2 of the suits gone. Morale test. Hey, they're going to pass. I finally passed 1. So, boom, boom. This unit grunts is going to move out to where they can see those stingers. So their 6-inch move, that's as far as they can go, and we've got 6 of them that can reach out and touch some stingers. So the 2 spotting lasers that those guys have, we got 2 hits, so we're going to get +2 to hit. Those 6 guys give me 12 shots. With the +2, we're hitting on a 3. 4+4 is to save. Ooh, they got quite a few saves. Regeneration. So they're going to lose 2. So there goes 2, and they are at half, not below, so they don't need a morale test yet. Second squad of Retributors have got out of the APC, and they're going to fire into these suits over here. 12 shots on a 3. We got 1 rending hit. Rending hit. That's going to be a fail. Everything else on a 3. So we lose 2 wounds. So the squad is still pinned, and this guy here down to 1 wound left. That squad of Stingers there, they are going to charge into this squad of suits. 10 attacks on a 3. Only 1 miss. Wow. I meant on a 2, but he missed with that 1, so saving on a 3 with poison. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't matter. That's 4 wounds. That's enough. So that's enough to wipe the rest of that battlesuit squad. Acolytes, they are going to move as fast as they can up to there. And now they are going to psychically nuke everything on that 3rd floor. Time for psychic shenanigans. First off, the Acolytes are going to cast Destroyer. It's power 2. They have 6 points to throw at it. We're going to put 2 more points into it, making it strength 4, and it goes off. So that's going to be 6 hits. Then the Noble is going to do the same thing with 2 points. That goes off. And then we're going to cast Soul Seeker twice from both of those squads. Both of those go off. So the Soul Seekers, 2 hits apiece at AP2. That's going to be 4 dead grunts. And then the Destroyer hits. They lose another 5. That squad upstairs is hurting, so time for a morale test. And they're going to fail. So even after all that, they're pinned. Things aren't looking great. The shifters are going to move and teleport over to there about. Ish. At the end of turn 1, the DAO Union, things are not looking very good. We've lost 5 out of 6 of the battle suits, and 1 squad that was on the board has been knocked down to 2, and they're pinned. Let's see what happens on turn number 2. So at the beginning of turn 2, we have ambushers drop in. We have this unit of stealth suits dropping in behind these shifters, contesting that objective. And then a squad of battle suits with the flamers dropping in behind some acolytes. First activation of turn 2, those flamer equipped battle suits are going to fire into those acolytes. 2 suit bursts hitting on a 4. We got 1 hit there. And then 4 suit flamers on a 2. They all hit. We got the Grot coming in, and he's going to be rolling some armor saves for Uncle C. Here you go. Go ahead and roll them armor saves. Looking for a 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
7.
4, 5, 6. So 7 failed armor saves. That means all the acolytes are down, and the Elite Protector is down to 2 wounds. Time for a morale test. And it's going to pass. So everyone in the squad is gone except for that High Noble, who is down to 2 wounds left. Got a unit of Stingers going into that squad there.
That one's drunk.
That was straight. Okay, that's fine. 10 attacks, hitting on a 2. We got 9 hits, saving on a 4 with poison. So with poison, I got to re-roll these 2. So we end up losing 3. So we're going to lose 3, and then everybody else is just going to move in to fight. 8 attacks on a 5. We got 4 hits. 1 more. They end up killing 1 Stinger. Morale test for the grunts. And I fail, of course. So 1 Stinger goes down. These guys back up an inch. And pinned. So with no other good options, this squad is just going to hold and unpin. So then the next squad's coming in, and yes, along with road noise, I got to deal with a train. This is the perks of playing in a garage. Hitting on a 2. Ooh, we got, well, 3 misses, so we got 4 hits. Saving on a 4. We failed 1, but with poison, got to re-roll that 6, so we failed 1. So we lose 1, and then everyone else is going to move in to fight. Their attack's back on a 6 because they are fatigued. Oh, we got 1 hit. Armor save. They save. So once again, I'm asking you to pass a morale test. And I do! Yay! The lone battle suit over there is going to fire into those retributors. 1 spotting laser, and it doesn't go off. 3 shots out of 4. 1 hit. Saving on a 6. It fails. So 1 retributor is gone. So over here, our noble is going to fire off a psychic power into this squad. So we're going to start off with Destroyer. It goes off. And then also Soul Seeker with the last point. It goes off. So we got 2 saves of 5. Failed 1. And then 6 saves on a 3. We failed 2 more, so that's going to take out one of the suits. So that takes out one of the suits. And then the leader guy, Acolyte, I forgot what his name is going to take off 16 inches to there. The stealth suits, they are going to move forward that direction. And then they are going to fire at the APC. So the unit has 1 spotting laser, which hits. So they're going to be hitting on a 3. Still only 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Oh my good lord. Blah, blah. You got lucky, APC. Retributors here moved around the corner. They're going to fire into the battle suit. 10 shots on a 3. All right, we got 1 rending hit. 1 save on a 6. And the rest on a 3. So he takes 2, means he's down to 1 wound left. Morale test out of 4. And it fails, of course. So pinned. Down to 1 wound. I'm doing great, guys. Last activation for the DAO this turn. They are going to recover. The APC is going to unpin. So the shifters are going to teleport 6 through the building as we drop tape measures. And then they're going to continue to move 6.
That worked out perfect.
Yep, and then they are going to fire at these guys here. Shifters are firing on a 3. Oh no. Saving on a 6. So they fail 5. So they lose 5, that means 3 there. 2 there. We're not below half, so we do not need to take a morale test, which I would probably fail anyways. Those retributors over there, they are going to move forward and fire on those suits. To there. 12 shots on a 3. No rending hits. No rending hits, so saving on a 3. We still lose 3. Morale test. They're good. Pow! It's the end of turn number 2, and for the DAO Union, the wheels are starting to fall off. These elves are being typical elves and pulling off things that should not be normal. Bah! The unit of grunts over here, they are going to just turn and fire at the squad of stingers right behind them here. We're going to actually use the relentless rule that character has. So we're going to use those 2 spotting lasers. We're going to be hitting on a 3 plus any 6s because we are relentless, gets extra hits. As I missed the box. Saving on a 5. That's going to be the end of that squad of stingers. Stand up, buddy. The noble is going to move to there, and he's going to fire off his psychic spells to that unit of grunts. Destroyer. It fails to go off. Now we're going to do the Soul Seeker. That does go off. 2 hits at AP2, so saving on a 6. It's going to be 2 dead grunts. Pacow! That brings them below half, so morale test, which they promptly fail. Skadoosh. The unit of stealth suits are going to move forward, and they're going to fire into those retributors. Second thought, they're going to fire at that APC. Spotting laser. Misses, so hitting on a 4, it whiffs. The APC turns and is going to fire into that battlesuit. 2 shots on a 3. 1 hit, saving on a 3. Passes. This squad up here, they are going to lean forward and fire into that APC. We got 1 spotting laser left. It goes off, so we're going to get +1 to hit. Grunt leader on a 3. And then the grunt squad guy left over on a 4. Saving on a 2. It's good. So the shifters, they are going to move over to here and then fire on those stealth suits. Hitting on a 3. Saving on a 6. That'll be enough. Pow pow. The battle suit over there holding down that objective is going to fire his flamethrowers. So this one has the 2 flamers left. 2 hits. That's going to be 4 dead retributors. Morale test. They're going to pass. 4 gone. This squad of retributors is going to move to that objective, and then they're going to fire up into that squad there. On a 3. 1 rending hit, saving on a 6. Oh, they save. And then the rest, because of cover, saving on a 3. They saved them all. Good lord. Hashtag blessed. Last activation this turn. This guy over here, he's just going to unpin. That retributor over there is going to take off onto that objective there. And then Stinger's going to move in there. Stinger's on a 2. They all hit. Saving on a 4. And wood poison, rerolling that 6. So we lose 3. And then these 2 are going to fight back. Attacks back. Nothing, because they are fatigued. So they lost combat. They are already pinned, so that means this squad takes off running. Moving into turn number 4, things are not looking good for the DAO Union. The elves seem to be spread out across the board, but the DAO Union is holding some key objective points. If the high elves don't pay attention to where they're going, DAO Union might be able to take this on objectives. So this battle suit, beginning of turn number 4, is going to end up here to contest that objective, and he's going to fire into those retributors. Spot a drone. Misses. 3 shots on a 4. 2 hits. 2 fails. So time for a morale test. And they fail. So they lose 2, and they are pinned. The shifters are going to go bamf across that bocage there, and then they're going to fire into the back of that battle suit. 10 shots on a 3. That's a lot of hits. Crap. 7 on a 6. That's a dead suit. Remember what I said about the DAO Union have a chance? Yeah, I was wrong. Those guys up there, they're gonna shoot at that retributor in the crater. Spotting laser. Whiff. Grunt leader. 1 hit. Other grunt. Whiff. And he saves anyways. So that is it for the DAO. That's all we got going on. Let's go ahead and move some other stuff. All right, this guy here, he's just going to move and he's going to throw spells at the building. Why not? Destroyer out of 4. Fails. Soul Seeker. Fails. All right, cool. The APC is just going to, sneak up on that battle suit. 2 shots. Oh, good lord. 3 up. Failed, and the other one, yeah, he failed them both. Pow! This squad here, they're going to recover, and hey, look, they have an objective. Then the squad of Stingers, they're going to do some parkour over to that one. So remember what I was saying just like a minute ago at the end of turn 3? Yeah, that didn't quite work out. The Elf Fleets are going to end up winning 5-0. So at the end of the game, my thoughts on the elves. They're still sneaky, knife-eared elf things that orcs don't like. They kick the ever-loving crap out of me. Sorry about all the audio issues and all the just random stuff going on. We got people over today. You know how it is. Family are just noisy. So overall, the elf fleet seems to be a great army. This is just one version that you can take. There are many different ways you can do this with the jet bikes, with elementals, with gun lines, with full-on assault armies. The elf fleet army seems to be in a good spot because you can specialize on whatever you want to specialize. So that'll do it for us out here in the garage. Hope you guys are out there having a whole bunch of fun playing OPR, and one day I hope to see you across the table from me. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.